pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes that Bonnie sent out? Any corrections or deletions, or?
I have none.
I have none. Minutes are reviewed and accepted, Bonnie. Thank you. Public comment. Mr. Guria.
Thank you, sir. So, my name's Brad Gria, live here in Inlet. Several months we've been here talking about the issues that's next door to my home. And I just heard a report tonight that we've made a little bit of progress. After the last meeting, Councilman Bronsell stopped by a day or two later, impromptu stopped by, and we had a walk around the property, and he got to see firsthand a little bit better than you can see from the road what's there. And he agreed that something should be done in some sort of fashion, because everything that's there is not right. Some stuff is okay, some stuff is not. I was very happy to see somebody paying attention to me, which was really nice. Then Monday, I got a nice call from our codes guy, John, and he's had a meeting with the people next door, and he said the meeting went very well. There was a couple issues that they're gonna address, and start moving some stuff around, start to clean up the property. So I actually just came to say thank you for going in forward direction to try and get this problem resolved. So thank you to the board, and thank you to Mr. Rouse.
Thanks for your patience. If you look at the other side of his property, it used to be that way, and he's remediated it. So I think he's on the right path. Maybe it's not as
I thought it was
fast.
improved from what it was in the past.
Well, they
definitely.
took down, there was a problem with a tarp shed that they had, that the winter caved in.
Right.
Not this winter, the last winter, and it's been stayed there for like over a year. And fortunately, our codes guy got that taken care of already. So that's down and gone. Now we have to start, cleaning, reorganizing, and get rid of some stuff and whatever. So there's a few other issues, but I'm so happy to see that we're going in the forward direction, that I don't have to complain tonight that nothing's being done. So this is really nice. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, John Roche. Anybody else? Mr. Rudd.
I'm Greg Rudd. I've been kind of like doing a little research and a lot of reading about the bus systems that have been going on all around. I know Indian Lake, Long Lake, Common Web have all put on moratoriums on it, and I was curious as to what Inlet's plan was, and hopefully they would do the same, to do some research about it. Also, the other thing is, and I know people say, well, that would never happen in the Adirondacks. Right now, as it stands, over at Fort Edward, there's an 1,800 acre protected New York State DEC protected grasslands that's already slated for solar. And it's gonna happen unless something drastic happens. Also in the town of Dresden, which is on the other side of, it's still in the Adirondack Park, they're putting in a BESS system, and along with that, they've already got plans to put in a data center there. My personal feeling is none of that belongs here. I mean, if you want to have your own solar panels, I don't care, that doesn't bother me at least, but you say, well, that could never happen in Inlet. They need big, wide open spaces. Well, what the Wood Hotel parking lot, or the Wood Hotel field, I mean, you never know. I'm just saying, there's places that if the state deems it so, and as we all know, New York State is, my dad always said, if New York wants it, they're gonna get it. Well, how about the parking lot at the old barn, right there, that whole big open area? How about the golf course? So, I mean, that's something we really need to think about as a town. So that's my concern. And again, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but I think we should look at it.
No, we appreciate your insight. I do believe, and Bonnie can clarify, we have a law current
The
now.
local law, John can probably clarify even better than me, but a local law that says you can't have a storage system at this.
Our zoning has
It's
a
there.
list of actual allowable uses,
Right.
and BESS systems aren't in that list of uses. So if something like that was proposed, they would have to get a variance just to begin that process.
And that's happening. That's why I want,
The moratorium. I did have an email from a woman that I was gonna read during my time, or gonna bring it up during my time so they could discuss it, but now is a good time.
Just FYI, I don't know if everybody knows this, but when the legislation that created the Office of Renewable Energy Siting, basically completely obliterated home rule. So towns have no say over any of this stuff anymore. So unless you're willing to get into a legal fight, there's nothing any town can do about it. Luckily, to what Greg's talking about over there at Fort Edward, there's this lady,
Yeah,
Sulo, I can't remember her first name.
I think it's Ann.
And-
Alexandra.
Alexander.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's staging quite a battle and has a lot of allies. But, you know,
And along with that, with the ORES, that's Office of Renewable Energy Siting, you can't get a hold of these people. They have tried, literally go on and knock on the office door. Nobody answers. And here's, and I'm not gonna get, I'll try not to get too political, but the lady, the person that's in charge of ORES, the person that's in charge of the APA, the person in charge of DEC were all appointed by Kathy Hochul. We know Kathy Hochul really doesn't care about upstate, put it that way, you know, so. I think it's gonna have to be a grassroots kind of thing as far as each town's gonna have to fight their own battles, but, you know, but like what Dave said, these people, ORES right now, it has, well, over at Fort Edward, the company that's coming in to do this is out of Canada. They've got a company in Spain that's coming in New York to do it. So it's not even, you can't even say that somebody local is getting the benefit out of it per se, you know, so I mean,
That's a huge project, 1,800 acres, you said?
1,800 acres. Yeah, and it's a protected, DEC protected grasslands. There's endangered species they know that are there.
Mhm.
And basically they've thumbed their noses, you know.
Yeah, doesn't make sense, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, I'm not saying that would ever happen. You never know. I just said, you know.
Dave, you had your hand up again?
yeah, just to put a wrap on that, most of these solar farms are covered in snow 3 months a year, so they only deliver far less energy than is ever promised. My comments, the reason I came today is, I just want to make a few observations about the land development, minor residential, 160-28A, right? Yeah. One thing I just thought of on our way over here is we didn't put anything in there. I know we addressed landscaping, but not green space. So, you know, if we're gonna be clustering things, we should be thinking about where's the green space that offsets the clustering.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing about that development is, I think, well, two things. The numbers that were used for determining parking are, well, as you can see by I'm laughing, they're not realistic. And the other thing is, I think, speaking for most, if not all of my planning board, we all think it's too dense. You could remove 1 unit from the lakefront and 1 unit from the cabin cluster, and you'd still have some parking issues, but at least that would help to an extent. When it comes to parking, to think that you're gonna have only 1 car for every 10 people in a restaurant, or 1 car for every unit that you're renting, yikes.
Pretty generic formula.
That's not generic, that's dreaming.
Yeah.
So, I didn't plan on staying for the whole meeting, but if it does come up, you're gonna know where I'm at. I don't think the planning board would approve it as it sits right now.
Thank you, Dave. Mr. Dunkel.
Hi, this is a little scary for me. My name's Steve Dunkel. None of you know me. I'm married to Julie Dunay, so I'm here to represent the Dunay family. So I have 2 issues. I hope I can allow me the time to talk.
Yep.
One is the field that we let the town use for parking. I hope that's not what you refer to as the hotel parking lot.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's not theirs.
That-
So my sister-in-law and brother-in-law are committed to working with the town so you can always use it. They want to keep that green. If you walk by it right now, it's not all green. There are huge patches of dirt that are exposed. So what I'm hoping the town will do is first not mow it so short this summer. And if they have one of those aerators, if they can drag it over, I will pay for the grass seed. I'll pay for anything you put down to try to bring the grass back, but we'd like to try to reclaim it. And next winter, when you're plowing it, maybe not plow so deep, leave a little bit to keep a hard pack so we don't ruin the grass.
I think it was a tough year to open with a loader because it was so soft.
I
struggled.
agree, and I understand this happens.
Parks
and-
have always repaired that, haven't we?
Yeah, the Parks will repair that.
We'll repair it.
I'll get with them for the
and I'm
grass
saying
repair.
Pay for that. And one word
Well, we'll-
the gentleman back there just brought up is, if the hotel goes through all of that on busy weekends, when we're letting the town open it up for parking, it should not be extended parking for overnight guests. People put boats in there. Right? So that's that issue.
That's fair.
The other is the Woodhull project. I don't know what the numbers are. So a few concerns. We looked over the proposal. I'm pretty sure we have a right of way to access our property, which that does not account for. And I contacted Amy Van Wee, I contacted Mountain Abstract in Lake Pleasant. They're researching it for it. I have some of the stuff here. Not supposed to say my son's a lawyer, so he's gonna look at it for me. But if it turns out, I'm pretty sure there's a right of way. If there's not, we'll be filing for prescriptive easement, but I think that needs to be taken into account. Our well is over there, okay, so we're concerned about that. We're concerned about the added water drawn out of the aquifer is gonna adversely affect our well. Okay, so I think that should be taken into concern. There's gonna be a lot more waste generated. I don't know if there's a septic system, if it's gonna tie into the towns.
They're on town sewer at current.
So we prefer it wouldn't affect us. We're the closest property, we're adjacent to the hotel property. They put down a gravel driveway going up to Connie's. My brother-in-law, John, built a nice sand beach because my other brother-in-law can't walk, so he has to pull himself into the water. All that gravel washed down onto the property. The hotel's response to me was, you can't control where water goes. I pointed out that we flushed toilets on the top of the Empire State Building. We've been controlling water flow since the Romans. And they just disregarded that. So it's all gravel now, so it's hard to walk out and use. So if that small of a project caused that adverse effect, what's a brick project gonna cause? So those are some concerns that we have as a family.
Was that prior owners or that made that water statement?
Yep.
Yeah, it would have to be. It's been there a while, yeah.
But I've gone over and tried to talk to, I've left my phone number, nobody's willing to talk to me. Okay? We have issues, I've asked them not to let their patrons park on our property. If you go during snowmobile season, there's snowmobiles parked up in front of the barn, which Jim, my brother-in-law Jim owns. Okay? Their clientele uses the field. We're actually okay with that. We want people to enjoy the field, but we'd like to be respected too. But I'm just asking the town, you're gonna do what you do, take that into consideration.
And we thank you for use of that field too. We do.
My wife and sister, they just smile because their pop, Joe, would have loved the fact that the town's using it. So you're doing them a favor by letting them be part of the town. So thank you very much for your.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Steve, just so you know, the discussion of that right away has come up in discussions about this Woods Inn and the development and the use of that field, the Dunay field.
But it wasn't, I didn't see anything on the plan. To be honest, as a scientist, attention to detail is important. They didn't even spell my wife's name right on that.
How do you mess up Julie's name?
Look how they spelled Dunay. It's not Dunay. If you can't pay attention to those small details, how much attention you're paying to the big ones? I don't know either.
Well, we're gonna have an information, oh, I forgot to bring this up, I don't know if anybody else did.
It will be up, under planning board, but go ahead, Dick.
Yeah, 6 o'clock, what is it, the 27th?
27.
27.
Yes,
Yep.
informational session for that development. And so anybody that has any interest in it needs to be there.
I just came up tonight to practice, so I can go.
Make sure you tell Julie I said hi. I used to work with this guy.
Thank you for that, Dave. Connie?
Yeah, added to that, yeah, that just keeps washing out, that road down there, and it's just full of, ditches, at this point, and every year it's the same way.
No water control, no water bars at current, you're telling me?
Right, and, they used to they put a platform in down, where I put boats in, and they would take it out during the winter, because the snowmobile, that hasn't happened the last couple of years, so that's pretty beat up, and the carpet's all ripped up. So that's an issue, and having had 2 ankle replacements and 2 knee replacements, walking down there, hauling boats is not easy. The other thing is with the snowmobiles, they have hit my frame for the canopy there and destroyed that. nobody ever said anything, and then this year they hit another, thing that I put my, paddle boards on. And it's like, come on, really? And then both of them are off the side of that, but they go right up alongside the racks that hold the boats, and just, there's just no care, no sense, anything, so it's pretty frustrating.
Sorry about that. That is really not part of our trail system though, where they ingress and egress the lake there, other than I know it gets done.
Thanks for getting my sign back up, but they put it up so that the two screws at the bottom have chipped off the corner of my sign, frame of my sign.
I will make sure that's took care of for you.
It's not gonna be a big deal, but it just was irritating to see that the corner's gone.
Sorry about that. I will see if we can remediate that.
I wouldn't worry about it now, but yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense.
All right. Anybody else for public comment? All right, the public hearing's still open. Dave, thanks for the dates on your meeting times. Woods End plan, here it is. 6 p.m., May 27th. That's correct, Dave? Information right?
Yes.
Questions and answers and
Well,
information.
it's basically gonna be, Jacob's gonna have to answer whatever questions the public has. You know, we only have as much information as you do at the moment.
All right.
I would suggest to all of you, though, John, you've already submitted that draft, haven't you, to 28A that we were? You know, we need to, if there's any additions or changes in that zoning draft, we need to get those to the attorney while it's in for review.
All right. Appreciate that. Highway report.
Oh, okay, highway. Let me find them. Highway. I would like to give a huge shout out, this is from Sean, to the crew for taking care of things while I was on vacation. They did a great job. Plowed and sanded, will it ever end? Hauled garbage and recycling, unposted town and county roads, swept roads and parking lots, raked Uncas Road, Evans Drive, and Gilbert Road gravel, fixed a couple of wet spots up on Uncas Road, fixed washout in Moose River Plains, and got water flowing through the culvert, cleaned up stump dump and made ready for use, put dock at Fourth Lake Boat Launch in the water for the summer, took delivery on the new skid steer, listed the old skid steer on Auctions International, bids came in too low. I countered, but with no luck. We will be going ahead with the trade-in for Warner Sales and Services coming up, hopefully not plowing or sanding, hauling garbage and recycling, working on Moose River Plains roads to get them ready for the season. Gates usually open Wednesday or Thursday before Memorial Day. Do some ditching over Uncas Road and possibly replace a driveway culvert. Replace 2 culverts up on the Uncas Road gravel. We will be doing our annual brush pickup on the week of June 1st through the 4th. All brush is to be brought to the roadside. Please call the highway garage to be put on the list for pickup. This is for brush and limbs only, no lumber, metal, or C&D of any kind. They put up the new American flags on the poles in town. The large piles of gravel in front of the salt shed are for the Moose River Plain roads and project we have planned for the DC for this summer. Hamilton County has replaced a couple of culverts on Limekiln Road, and they have one more to replace. They have been over on South Shore Road cutting shoulders. They will be grinding and laying down the existing blacktop and will pave over that this summer. Both South Shore Road and Limekiln Roads are going to be paved. Roads will be brushed back after the paving process.
Do they have a diameter on the limbs for the brush?
Do they have what?
Capacity for the brush?
I was just gonna ask that, yeah.
He doesn't,
Should he?
no.
Okay, that's fine. Just was.
He just says limbs only.
What was the date for the brush pickup?
1st through the 4th. June 1st through the 4th, yep. Then I have transfer station, oh wait. You ready for transfer?
Yep, ready for transfer and
Okay,
recycling.
Transfer station is open 7 days a week from 8 to noon, then 1 to 7. Closed 12 to 1 daily for lunch. We ask that everyone please enter the building before proceeding to the outside bins. There's been a lot of stuff put in the outside bins that could go in the compactor. For example, insulation, inflatable water toys, anything light that might blow around off the bin. All recycling items like plastics, metal cans, and papers are to be placed on the tables by the bin. The attendant will take them from the table and put them in the container. The last load of recycling had lots of glass and non-recycling items were in the load. Use only clear plastic bags for garbage. Clear bags are the only type that should be picked curbside or for drop off at the transfer station. This is a local county law from 2012 and is also a requirement within our contract with Fulton County Landfill. There are no exceptions to this rule. The stump dump is open for the season.
I got one thing on transfer. On the compactor, when it's in the closed position, there's like a varmint door or a, I guess you call it a nuisance flap. It's out of commission. Peter, you know anything? Maybe we could at some point get that repaired, whether it's a you question, a Sean question.
Well, I think we're looking to replace the
Find the part that came off. I don't know where it is right now.
But anyway, we're getting, some of the trash is getting on the neighbors. Of course, we do have a picket fence to catch some, you know what I mean? But I think what happens, even when the compactor's shut, that capacity is open for
Yeah.
birds. Yes, you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess I'll meet with you or Sean about getting that potentially repaired or something. And if we can't, we'll have to do a higher fence or try to collect some of the stuff. I don't want on the two neighbors that are starting to get some, not anyone's fault, just if we could get that, you know where I'm talking, that.
Yep. Our friends drag it into the woods.
Yeah, so I'd like to get that repaired ASP before summer gets too far along. I guess I'll bring it up with Sean as well, but at least you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
All right.
Just gotta find a big piece of sheet metal to
Somebody could
seal the deal.
alter something.
Plywood even.
Yeah. I'm game whatever you guys want to come up with, but I'll reach out to Sean and tell him about it as well, unless you've already spoke with him about it.
Not about that, Mike.
All
It's
right.
on the top.
It's on the, when the compactor goes inside the container, then there's a gap in this, I call it a nuisance flap. I don't know if it's for nuisance animals, I'm assuming. Even in the compacted mode, it leaves an opening for
Okay.
bears,
Like above
raccoons,
the
just
unit.
anything can get in there and pull out the trash and someone's stuck picking it up. And it just,
Because there used to be like a canvas thing on top of it, but so that the wind didn't blow.
this is like a metal flap, right, Peter? Or it's supposed to be. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'll get with you or Sean and we'll see if we can get that repaired and keep the neighbors happy. Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
All right, living ADK. Robin, you're up.
Okay, senior lunch delivery program is going well. We currently have 21 homes within the Inlet, Eagle Bay, Big Moose area being serviced. Overall, the program is serving approximately 62 residents. Living ADK has joined the New York State Association of Rural Health, which is a statewide organization advocating for the health of rural New Yorkers, of which we all are. So they advocate for us at the national and state level, but being involved with this organization provides connections for us to network with and important resources and information helpful to our residents. Living ADK, along with the IABA's Jill Marsh, co-hosted an informational event this past Monday at View for business owners or entrepreneurs planning to transition to retirement. We did have a local family who is familiar with the program already, but showed up anyway, and I think there was a lot of good information and discussion going on with our folks and with Jill, and hopefully we can figure out a better way to market the program, but we're just trying to help business owners get proper valuations done on their businesses before they list it for sale, because we want them to have their best foot forward when they're getting ready to retire. And we did have someone who signed up for the program but didn't show, so we'll follow up with them with a phone call. We're also connecting Linkwell from the Indian Lake EV fast charging project with Bonnie and Mike to get some preliminary pricing on the fast charger idea, but Bonnie, we need to give them some addresses.
Yeah, coordinates, and Mike, I thought Mike was gonna do that the other day, but he must have missed my message or something. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I wasn't exactly sure. Do you remember where John said? I know one was by the trail, right over here, right?
He had hoped.
Yeah, you'd hoped here, but where was the other one up at the church? Okay, the church,
Parking
yeah,
lot of the church.
yeah, okay. I'll
And
remind
if there are
Martha.
any other town-owned, pieces, parcels.
Right.
So I don't know if you were considering any locations out here, but just keep that in mind.
I
But-
think their fear with the location out here is lack of parking.
Yeah, it's always a problem. Yeah.
And once again.
Do we need 3-phase for this?
I'm not sure. I don't know enough about that.
That would dictate where we would locate it for
Mhm.
sure.
Yes,
Mhm.
fast chargers.
Yes, fast.
Let me-
Okay. So again, getting them out here to
Yeah, we
all
need
of
to
us
get that.
evaluate and figure out a cost, and then understanding what's available for pricing or funding
Hmm.
that could help with that project. Okay, and so I believe we do know that even if you don't own the land, as long as you've got an agreement in place,
Mhm.
that qualifies
Mhm.
for applying for the funding. Let's see, we're also offering to moderate a Meet the Candidate night for you all in September and October. Adele's gonna help me with that, so once we know who's running for town positions in November, we will get that set up for you all and have it here one evening.
Great.
Looking forward to that. And then also with the Community Foundation of Herkimer Oneida is gonna be at View tomorrow, 11:30 to 1. I tried to make sure that your EMS, fire, historical, Inlet Area Community Task Force knows that hopefully they're gonna send someone to participate in that, because anytime they come to us, I think it's important, because they do provide a lot of funding to our area, especially through the Adirondack League Club, so.
Adele and I are gonna be there.
Good,
Mhm.
great, thank you.
11:30, yeah.
To 1. And then Miriam, you wanted to say a couple words about your CRN work?
Yeah, so I'm officially full part-time. I've been participating in the Hamilton Cares meetings, which is basically all the county agencies. They kind of get together and make sure everybody knows what everybody's doing. Have noticed, obviously aging, they cover both Hamilton and Warren County, but they're based in Warren County. So they have been very obviously not present at those meetings. So next month, I'm actually gonna go to the Hamilton County office and go in person to 100% verify that they're not participating, and then work to get them to participate. I've also just gotten on the Herkimer County Resources Committee. They kind of cover Herkimer and Oneida. So that'll kind of see what the other counties do and who all participates. So that's my mission, because we have a lot of issues with the senior lunches. Northern Oneida, they do Meals on Wheels. Herkimer, they use Mom's Meals. Inlet, they do nothing. So I've done a little research, but it's a matter of bringing them to the table, and then we'll go from there.
Well, thanks for looking out for us.
Well, we're trying.
Thank you. Communications. Got anything, Dennis?
That's me. We're busy. This is an exciting, as Andrew's following along, I kind of looped him in when he became a board member, and hopefully he's still happy with being in that loop. Things are happening pretty quick. Dave has allowed us access to the road. Tomorrow morning will be the first trip up the mountain over the winter. It was pretty successful. We monitored both site security and temperature and everything. It just kept running all winter, so.
Good deal.
Knock on wood, it's ready to go. The construction crews to hang Herkimer and Hamilton's antennas will be up on Monday. We could see this being active mid-June. So there'll be some testing and some calibration needed. It's complicated because you have two towers that are transmitting the same information. So they have to be carefully calibrated and synced up, and then there'll be some testing, and then it could go live certainly before the big crowds come.
It's great timing.
Yep. In regards to what we did last year, I just want to make sure the board follows and the budget officer follows. Last year, we approved 10,000 to hang an antenna for highway and trails. And the contractor was unable to complete it before when we really needed it over the winter. So the trail department and myself went up and did a temporary antenna, which worked shockingly well for the location and survived the winter, and it's still operating now. But I'd like to not necessarily put it anywhere else, but to keep that in reserve as we continue this project. I'm still working with both Hamilton and Herkimer. If they need additional assistance with anything, that would be great. You know, we come here to get it approved, but
Yeah,
just don't go spend that since we've already allocated it.
well, earmark that. Everybody remember that?
And that's it. That's all I have for that. I know that there's probably Andrew has more on other ends of it, but that's it for the tower site. So
Excellent.
hopefully come back in June and tell you, man, we're gonna be live.
Yeah, I don't have any more on that. Are they bringing equipment up tomorrow?
No,
No.
actually, Tim has some stuff to bring up, but nothing, no big stuff.
I can't be there. I gotta be in Syracuse, so unfortunately I can't be there.
There's
tomorrow,
nothing
but-
There's nothing to see.
So,
No, sounds good.
So you're
Thank
saying
you.
you're gonna leave the temporary antenna where it is? Because it works so
Correct.
well? You're just
Yep.
gonna leave that alone?
That, and when the system is active, both the town and the amateur radio antennas that are temporary will go on the main antenna system. The other ones will remain as backups.
Okay.
So for anyone,
It's a spare,
because
so.
there'll be a spare. And
It's a great.
yes, the first
Done
year
to see.
was not harsh on us, but you know, you could have some damage. So
Oh, yeah.
a quick trip up there and then you literally swap some cables and we're back on the air, would be handy to have. So
Sure.
I guess so.
that was the plan.
Super idea.
Sounds good.
oh, I can't wait.
Thank you.
And then any more of the 911 stuff, I don't have any.
I talked to John again today. John Rouse has been busy. We ran into issues over the winter with Verizon, National Grid, or whatever, trying to coordinate with them to get the changes out. Hopefully, we've got that worked out. Problem we got now is John is extremely busy with his code stuff, with the buildings and stuff, so we're just trying to squeeze time to hopefully, we want to make sure when it goes out, it's correct and it's done in one day, or, you know, one, because it's just going to be a complete switch over. So my apologies for just, we seem to keep running into roadblocks every once in a while, so, but we're on it and hopefully we get it done because I want to put it to bed, you know, so.
Thank you. Planning board.
Yeah, I think Dave touched on everything that we,
And he left already, but yes.
yeah, so
He's
just a
gone.
reminder that there will be a public informational meeting on May 27th at 6 PM prior to the regular planning board meeting.
All encouraged to go.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you. Parks, buildings, codes, assessor information, youth commission. Anybody have anything highlighted?
I'll say thank you to everyone that showed up for Community Pride Day in the rain and cleaned up, and thank you to Highway for picking up the bags of trash on the side of the road. Say that.
Excellent. Perfect.
And I'll say that we're excited to celebrate USA's 250th birthday. There's a meeting on Tuesday at Screaming Eagle at 6:30 if anyone wants to come and share their ideas on how we should be celebrating America's 250th birthday.
Neat.
That's it.
Perfect. Thank you. Trails.
They didn't give me any kind of report, really.
No, and I'm assuming we'll have to,
I have a question on trails. Yeah, like who's in charge of trails now?
well, I'm gonna guess reach out and say that we're gonna potentially appoint Patrick, I'm assuming. But
Yeah, I think that was part of it.
we'll have to get together and tackle this. That was the game plan for me anyway. I don't know what you guys feel.
That was the plan, but I don't know where right now.
So
Otherwise.
I've given him a soft potential, so I don't know if anybody else has, but
I haven't, we haven't even just,
I haven't even-
that's my thoughts anyway, so being that Chip is retired and gone, so that will help immensely, so we'll leave that at that. Town clerk report.
Excuse me,
Oh, sorry.
On trails, it says ongoing drainage issue between the Caboose and the Tamarack. Any updates there?
I have nothing, and I was hoping that there was a representative here that could answer that.
Okay, just, I'm wondering, there's times when I have stood down where the tent site is at the shop there, and, you know, it's rained heavily, and the water has come down there, and it's been like up almost to my knees. And I'm wondering if that's connected to the issues across the road. Because.
Well, I talked to Chip and he does feel that that's somewhat all related, but he says it's basically, he feels that a lot of the problem is just everything's downhill, obviously.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna be able to fix with what they're asking me to do, because you still have everything downhill, and then the DOT basin, I think, is plugged or crushed or something, right?
It was
Is it
frozen.
Frozen?
Frozen.
I never
Oh, I
got a
thought it was
proposed plan
crushed too, yeah.
from anyone, so
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
totally guessing. I don't know. If there was such a thing, you know, that the town was gonna assume we'd need a right of way first of some kind of an easement, and then who's gonna take care of this?
The DOT agreed to let us do it all. So, according to Sean, wasn't that nice of them? So they kind of gave us the okay to go ahead and do it all.
There wasn't.
Yeah.
They have their own right of way and their own responsibility.
Exactly.
They're passing them down to us now?
Yeah.
That's a gray area. Anyway, till I get a report from the department head or a plan or
Yeah.
a site review, anything would help.
There is a drain, near the driveway to the woods, but it's on the farther side, not towards the center of town.
Mhm.
It doesn't really seem to help with water that's.
Right, because it's coming.
Sometimes it's just like a river, and then the
Mhm.
spring, oh my God,
Mhm.
it's crazy, you know, with the
Mhm.
amount of water that goes down through there. So I think that's also, you know, causing a problem with washout down near the water. There's so
Mhm.
much stone from that driveway that's washed down right into the lake.
Mhm.
And every year they have to put more stone down, and guess where it goes?
See, it's really, is it issue a DOT issue, a town issue, a state issue, a trail issue? It really needs to be clarified.
Well, the problem, part of the problem with the caboose is that when the sewer main was put in, I talked to Jeff about a while ago, they damaged the 12-inch culvert, and then they put like a piece of 8 or 10-inch in to repair it. So I feel we should definitely fix that, you know, but as far as going back and doing drop drains all the way to the back of the property behind the caboose, I'm not sure I can go along with that. I mean, it seems like a lot of expense, and it's not really our water back there.
We'll have to get together with department heads
Yeah.
and work through this one, that's all.
I think we should fix the culvert, though, I definitely do, because we did damage it.
That's what he said, yeah.
Yeah.
It was crushed.
They did something to it and put a piece of smaller piping, which didn't make
Mhm.
sense to me, but that's the story.
You got something, John?
Back to my department there, the trailer permit.
Oh, yes. We have one application for a 2-year travel trailer permit. We've issued these before in the past.
Yes.
During construction, correct? That's what it's for?
Yeah.
With a valid building permit, which he does have. So.
I would need a motion for this and
I'll
vote on it.
motion to-
Get a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor of this, issuing this 2-year, under John's guidance, obviously?
Aye.
Aye. So be it, John. Thank you. Supervisor's report. All right.
Do you want me to do?
Oh, I missed you, didn't anybody? Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Somebody's got to keep me in line.
I just have a few things. I don't
No,
have much.
go for it. Sorry about
Um,
that.
Well, actually, Ray, you might want to address the first thing that was on my part.
Sure, from the zoning board of appeals standpoint, we have one open alternate position. I have 2 really viable candidates that would like to be there, so I would like to expand my alternates from 2 to 3. So I would request that from the board to approve. I'd like to build a little bench strength while we can do that.
It's all right with me. You guys have anything?
I'm good. Need a motion for that?
It doesn't hurt. Yeah. I would.
Somebody want to make a motion for that?
Sure, I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Add an alternate spot?
Aye.
Sure.
Aye. All you, Ray.
So that was that one. And then I have received, to what Greg was talking about, I have received several requests for the town to address the moratorium, a possible moratorium on allowing, even though we do have a local law that protects us somewhat, they could apply for a variance and get it, where they're asking that each town, and I guess all but 31 towns have already done something about a moratorium in the Adirondack Park. And we're one of those 31 towns. So they're asking if we would consider doing a moratorium on the BES, allowing a BES. I know it would probably have to be a local law. And you
Sounds like it'd have to be
yeah.
a local law.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Forge is going through it right now.
Yeah.
So you can carbon copy what they're doing.
Yeah.
All right, we'll proceed forward with the same.
Okay.
Thank you, Greg, for keeping us in the loop on that.
And I think that's all I have. Yeah, it was painless. I'm good.
Supervisor's report. All right,
I'm sorry. I just thought of something.
go ahead. It's you. It's all
I'm
right.
sorry. I talked to Corey Reed about coming up and looking at a few things on the wastewater treatment plant, in particular the scrubber. So the smell that you're smelling, Joanne, is a problem with the scrubber. It's not, he thinks it was a rejuvenating scrubber. You would know more, John, about this kind of thing. But it's supposed to kind of regenerate and continue to get rid of any odor and that type of thing. He's guessing because there's a problem with the odor abatement, that either the scrubber is malfunctioning or the maintenance hasn't been done correctly on it, and so it's not regenerating or whatever you want to say. So he's going to come up and look at the scrubber amongst other things to try to get that under control.
Give us some insight on that.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you for that call.
You're welcome.
All right, now supervisor report.
Now I'm done.
Library post office building concerns. On that note, I ran into Jim Dillon again, and he advised when we do decide to peel up that piece of concrete in the front and fill that open void, is to saw cut right in front of the building, not knowing if it's pinned, hit on the envelope. He made a recommendation I'll bring it up with whether we do it in-house, we hire it out, but his recommendation to make a saw cut close to the building
That would make sense.
first, so all those unknowns, so just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I told Jim Dillon, thank you for the advice.
And the panel has been moved, so we can start doing something.
Proceed forward at any given point in time. Recreational easements, working still with the attorney on them. I haven't heard any back.
Not really. I mean, him and I worked together on changing the wording. I mean, it really didn't change much, other than we need to decide if we're gonna compensate the people with the recreational easements, that we use them year round, if we're gonna give them any better compensation. That's really the only holdup, is what are we gonna do for them differently? Because they are letting us use it for biking, hiking, in addition to snowmobiling, So that's really the only holdup, is I just don't know where we.
We'll have to review it and try to come up with a plan. Do you know how many people are concerned, or?
There are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6-ish. I gotta remember how many people I want to say.
Requested
5,
it?
6. No, that we,
Oh, that
are affected.
That are year-round.
Yep, that are affected by it. So they're the only ones accepting compensation for the recreational easement. But it's funny because I've tried talking to a couple of landowners, and Adele and I were in Saranac, and we learned that, and when I had known this, I think I talked to you about this, that if you accept compensation
Oh, yeah.
for use of your land in the town of Inlet as a recreational easement, you aren't automatically protected under a liability for the state. The state will protect you as long as you're not being compensated for use of your land as a recreational easement. If you accept compensation, then you're on our insurance or your own, that kind of thing.
You're exposing yourself that much more.
So that was something that I wanted to
Interesting.
point
That
out.
is
So
interesting. Why would that be?
it's just a law that they passed that kind of compensates them for the use of their land, to encourage people to let us use.
No, but why would the
You know.
state back out of, if you were compensated? It only seems like a fair trade
I don't know.
for use.
I don't know, once it's
State,
a
I don't know.
paid, must change something up.
Yeah, I guess they figure that's how you're being compensated. I don't know.
Mr. Greer?
I just have a question, a legal question, as far as terminologies about compensation. for the use of somebody's land versus a donation.
Mhm.
I mean, be for your legal department to look at, because it could be looked at two different ways. If somebody's paying for something specific on an annual basis, maybe that would be considered compensation. If there was a donation made to a family for their help with the village of whatever, you know, I'm sure there's some terminologies that may get somebody out of the loophole about not being covered for the liability.
Well, I did talk to the attorneys about that because I said, well, what about if we give them, instead of compensate them, we write them a check based on their taxable amount and that kind of thing. What if we just gave them an exemption almost on their
That would
taxes?
be the way to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do an exemption.
Like exemption of something.
So that there's no money.
Money, no money handling.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
That's even cleaner.
Right, so he was gonna look at that, because I
That
said,
would
you know,
be
why
the way to
wouldn't
do
you, you know, maybe give a little, you know, how you get a star exemption
Well,
or, you know, whatever.
you get a percentage.
Mhm. Off your
or-
taxes.
Yeah, and it would be an exemption.
Mhm.
So there's no money changing
Mhm.
hands, so there's no compensation.
Right, so he's gonna look into that and let me know if that's something that will change that word, change
Yeah, I
and
think
protect
that
them.
might be
Because we
good.
wanna protect the property owners, even if they are getting, we wanna
Might be
protect.
good.
Or let them know that they're not as protected if they do this.
If they, right, exactly.
They just need to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, thank you for finding that out. That's pretty cool, Bonnie. All right, we do have an executive session, even though it says none. So I will bypass that and do the last public comment before we go to that.
Can I say something?
You sure can.
I'm here, I might as well exhaust. So, where our house is located at 143N, if you're familiar with the driveway, it's very steep, and it's summertime. I'm a supervisor for the Adirondack Watershed Institute, and I can't get into the house. There are cars parked each side of the driveway, and with the parking across the street on 28, my Tundra can't make the corner. I've talked to Sean about, Mr. Hanson, about this. I'm gonna call the DOT and ask them to put up no parking signs on either side, so I can make that turn.
So you can make the radius.
Okay, it's gonna cost the town 2 parking spaces, but there's a little parking space across the sidewalk that people use all the time anyway. The police hide there under the apple tree. There are times when there's 5 or 6 cars parked there. So my thought is, if we can get them to put up the signs, because Sean said the state has to, you guys can't.
Right.
And I can talk to Sean and work with him and the highway department to kind of make that a little bit better parking space. It'll be open to anybody. When we're up there, which is twice a year, we'll park over there, but there'll be no sign that says it's Dune property. It'll just be, people park and use it all the time. So my feeling is they may lose 2 spots or 1 truck and a boat, but they're gonna gain 5 or 6 parking spaces. But I wanna put it out there because it will have an effect on the town. And if you guys have a better idea or you really object to it, I won't do it. I just thought I'd throw that out there and let you guys talk about it with Sean. And
Sounds fair to me, but I'll bring it up with Sean as well, but
what Sean told me was you don't have to let us use your space, but people use it anyway.
Yeah.
Don't really chase them away.
no, we thank you for that. We need every space we can get, so it's much appreciated. Anybody else? Peggy?
Yes, I have a couple things. First thing, I didn't hear anything from the highway department in his notes about working on the Townsend Trail. Any word on that?
I spoke to him about it. He said he's definitely gonna move forward on it, and he's definitely gonna asphalt it. And he had asked if he needs approval again from the board to asphalt it, and I was going to actually talk to the board, but I didn't feel he did, because he already got approval to do it. So,
I wouldn't think you need approval again.
no.
I think some of it's weather sensitive. Obviously in May, it's still,
Right.
He actually said he wanted to finish it before the
Last leg
4th.
of it.
Yeah, before the 4th.
He wants to finish it before the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
he has hopes.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my second question is, what are we gonna do about our absentee supervisor? This has been going on way too long. He's getting paid a lot of money to not do his job.
Well, you got ideas, throw them my way. But I know tonight he had hopes of coming. Something came up with a purchase that he did, so he asked if I didn't mind filling in. So I said, of course I'll fill my duties. I can't speak for him, Peggy. I don't know. It wouldn't be fair for me to speak for him.
I know, but you as a town board, you must have feelings about him not having office hours and not doing his job like he should be doing his job.
One of the not so great things about elected officials, I guess.
I don't know how to answer that properly, other than that one.
Obviously, he doesn't have to be here 8 hours a day, but he's supposed to be making himself available to people, whether it be 4 hours a day, whatever.
Unfortunately, priorities change in life, and I'm going to assume that's what happened with John. So we're going to have to weather the storm now. That's all I can say. I can't speak for
So
him.
in the meantime, taxpayers are paying thousands of dollars to a person who's not doing his job. If that was in the private sector, they'd be fired.
Unless they were the owner.
The town board doesn't have does not have the ability to expel a member, which John is a member. We don't have.
There are other legal ways that.
Well, but I'm just saying the town board can't just
But
take
the
him
town
out.
board can speak to him about what's happening.
I think we've all spoken to him.
I'll have another chat. I'll do that, Peggy. I'm sorry if you feel that way. I get it. You know, again.
Well, it's our hard-earned money to pay somebody to not do their job.
Stop voting for him.
Pardon?
Stop voting for him.
Well, that's what I say. That's why I use the elected official part. It's one of those things that just.
He'll be retiring soon, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, but we still have from now till then, there's a lot of things going on that a supervisor needs to attend to that isn't happening. I mean, Dan is covering the meeting and he's doing the best that he can do, but he's not the supervisor. He can't answer the questions that a supervisor should be able to answer. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way. I'm the only one that's speaking it.
You're not the only one who feels that.
I'll start the conversation. I'll see where it goes, Peggy. But you know, he's a grown man when he gets to pick and choose his own path, I guess.
I know, but if he doesn't want to do his job, maybe he should take a leave of absence.
Again, I'll start the conversation again. Sorry you feel that way. You know, it's just some things are out of people's control. That's all. They just are.
No. It's very disappointing. Yeah, that's a long time. 7 months is a long time to not have somebody in this building. I mean, we have a lot of good people that work for the town.
We do.
And their morale can't be as high as it should be because their boss isn't present. And what does that say to them? It says, if my boss doesn't care about his job, why should I care about mine? You know what I'm saying?
Totally understand it.
But nobody has any answer.
I can't speak for him, but I will bring it up. I will. Sorry you feel that way. And you know, I wish there was a magic wand we could immediately fix it, but we can't. So, Julie.
Sorry, at one of the meetings, you guys had talked about hiring an engineer to deal with the post office. Where are we on that?
We met with one. I guess you could call Jim Dillon an engineer because he is.
Oh, okay.
That's the one I was speaking of earlier. Then he
Gotcha.
called me back. So
Okay, so does that mean you guys are prepared to move forward with something?
yes, there is a plan in place for sure.
Awesome, thank you. And I like Chip and Patrick very much. I think they've done a great job, but I feel like since all the other departments
Bless you.
are required to submit a report, I feel like trails should fall under that as well, especially when there's something on the agenda that's supposed to be addressed by them. They're not here and that's fine, they don't get paid to be here, but there's no report. So I think that's something, in my personal opinion, that they should submit a monthly report, what they're up to, and if there's something specific on the agenda that needs addressing, whoever is assigned to them, seek them out if that's not on the report.
I'm very confident that the new one that we spoke of will fulfill those needs. I am that confident with it.
Awesome, thank you. Just two more quick comments.
Yeah, we don't have
We don't have anybody.
With regards to the lawn that we use from the Dene family, he had mentioned that he would be willing to pay for the repairs and stuff, and I heard you say that you're gonna get the Parks Department on it, but are they compensated for letting us use that field? Because if they're not, the reason I'm bringing it up is I feel like they shouldn't have to pay for anything. And again, this is just me inputting my opinion when no one asked, but if they're not compensated, I think that that should be repaired for them if the damage was due to the town using it.
I don't think we're expecting to bill them, right? We're just gonna.
No, we weren't expecting to
I
bill
think
them.
we're just gonna fix
It's
it.
our,
Gotcha, yep.
it's our maintenance and repair program, basically.
Okay, that's great. I heard him say he would offer to pay for it, so I just wanted to make sure.
Just try to be part of the community.
No, thank you again.
And lastly, I just wanna say, you know, with what Peggy had to say, I just wanna thank Bonnie, for all she's done over the last 5 or 6 years
Or more.
to hold everything together for our town. And,
Thank
you're very much appreciated.
Exactly.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So what is the project that's going on with the post office? What's gonna be done?
In the front, where the, I guess you call it that tapered concrete pad is in front of it, underneath that's hollow. That's part of the old fire hall. At some point, we'd like to lift that concrete off, fill the void, and re-pour that.
So it'll be flat?
Well, it'll be whatever percent grade we can get away with, but basically, that area underneath now, it's hollow. You probably wouldn't even know that.
So will it be handicap accessible?
Well, to be determined how far this goes, whether it can be or not. If the door, there's all kinds of dynamics involved if you're gonna make that handicap accessible or not. Yeah.
But we do
there's so
plan
many
on
things.
an automatic door. so
At
they-
some point.
So the elderly won't have to push that heavy door open.
We were hoping maybe we could do some of this in-house in terms of filling the thing in and still making an access come and go. So there's a lot to be figured out in a hurry there, but
So on that note, also, employees that work in town are still parking, even though it's not busy. They should get in the habit of parking where they should be parking and not taking up precious parking spaces near the post office. Because people want to pull in there, get their mail, and pull out. If somebody's working in the post office or working in the library, they're parking there. They're taking up space all day long.
We did talk about that too, is changing the very front spot to a handicap spot. And then the 2 or 3 to either side would be 10-minute.
15 minute or less.
Parking, and it will be marked on the ground, because you don't see that sign.
No, you
It's right
don't.
up there.
Nobody sees
Yeah.
those signs.
So they did talk about changing that also, and maybe even putting up a camera so the police can kind of, you know, not that they're sitting in their office, but if they were in their office, they could see somebody was, you know, there and had been there too long and going and moving
I
them.
did see an officer walking through town the other day.
Yeah,
I thought
he-
that was a good idea.
Yeah, he does a lot. Yeah.
And hopefully that
He
continues
does a lot.
during the summer.
Yeah, he does. They do it usually in the summer. They'll walk around. So yeah, they're talking about enforcing that a little bit better too. But we got to also be careful how many spots there. We say 15-minute because none you're still taken away from, you know. But if we have 3 or 4 spots, it should help a lot with the elderly and, you know.
Speed things up for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it would be nice if we could get rural delivery, and then we could have.
I don't know if you're gonna see that, but
Good idea.
is that it for public comment? Nope, Dennis.
I had one more. I live at 90 State Route 28, and the snowmobile trail is part of my
Oh, yeah.
property. I don't know if you had discussed bringing this up it's not on the agenda, so I just thought I'd bring it up now. I've been there for 10 years. There's never been any kind of regular maintenance on it. Recently, the highway department did come and patch a small portion of it, but it's already coming apart. I've approached the state. Multiple times I've talked to the highway department. Now the trail department was formed. The trail department's not capable of repairing a sidewalk, and I don't understand why my property, I'm the only property in Inlet that doesn't have a sidewalk. And it's extremely dangerous. I mean, beyond extremely now. There was a
Oh, yeah?
12-inch hole, and the water has now penetrated all through my driveway and destroyed, my asphalt because it hasn't been maintained.
I'll get with the right
I don't know
people.
why I have to go to the state to do it. They said they would help me, but that's not their responsibility.
Denny, I talked to Chip, and maybe I don't know enough about sidewalks and so on and so forth, but he said that if they put a concrete sidewalk in, which I said, that's the only way you're gonna fix it, is to put the concrete, like we have that crossing over there, you know, or a sidewalk there.
Mhm.
He said it's gonna change the pitch of the driveway.
Well, I already take all of the water from the highway. now.
Anyway.
Anyway, okay.
It's destroyed my lawn,
Mm-hmm.
and actually, I would hate to say it out loud, but if the DEC found that runoff, going into,
Mhm.
you know, my property, I would think that the town would somehow be liable for that, or certainly the state would be in trouble. So I'm trying to get in front of it, but it's just taken 10 years and nothing's happened. I don't know what else to do.
We'll deem it as sidewalk repair.
That's what I said.
I did
yeah,
talk to
I'd
Sean
like-
about this the other
Mhm.
day. He said, with Chip being gone, he thought he was gonna get over and try and do something.
Do something.
Well, how would Chip repair that? That's what I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't, that's what he said. He said Chip
Making
doesn't,
trails.
Chip doesn't have stuff to do.
It's sidewalk. I think it's gonna be when we do sidewalks.
Has a sidewalk.
Yeah.
I think when we do sidewalks, we have sidewalk money budgeted. I think we'll address that, and we usually pick the worst spots, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think we can,
I thought Sean said he was going to repair it with sidewalk. He didn't talk to you then, obviously.
No, I mean, I talked to Sean and I said that I approached the state,
Mhm.
but the state is not gonna build that. I mean, the state doesn't come into the rest of the sidewalks, do they?
we should be able to tackle that with
No.
in-house with our sidewalk
Yeah.
budget and repair program, for sure. Easy.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry it took this long. We'll move forward. I'm glad you brought it up. We kinda,
Hopefully I stay another 10 years to enjoy it.
yes. Sorry about that, Dennis. Thank you.
I just wanted to clarify with Andrew, the 911 numbers are gonna be done soon?
Believe me.
Because that was supposed to happen at the beginning of the year.
Oh, it's supposed to, well, we ran in, like I said, we ran into some issues trying to get, we were trying to make it so the landowner or the person with the number didn't have to do much. It looks like when you get your number, you're gonna have to change with Spectrum, National Grid. We were trying to send the database to National Grid so they would just change it for us, but it looks like you're gonna get your new number, and then as bills come in, you'll have to contact the company and change it to the correct number, the new number. So we're on board, but then John has run it, he's the one doing the letters and stuff, and he's gotten inundated with building permits and stuff, so. Believe me, I was on the phone with Herkimer today, and they're like, can we put this to bed? And I'm like, I would love to. So,
But you're also waiting for a phone number for them to be able to call, right?
well, no, that too, but we want to put on the letter the correct numbers for people to call,
Yeah.
so that, you know, you can make headway and get.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah, so you know who to call to change your numbers with, so, right.
FedEx and UPS and everybody else that doesn't deliver back.
That's, yes,
Yeah.
and I,
You know, it's good, they already do a bad job.
Yeah.
we're hoping, I don't know if you've got, you know, sometimes when we had ordered stuff the other day and they said, you're not deliverable, because they didn't like our address. So, you know, we're hoping that fixes that.
All the more reason for people to put numbers on their house or on their signs.
Correct, yes, and we do have a local law for that. I believe we do.
We do.
I think we passed it a long
Yeah,
time
we're
ago.
supposed to have
It's
it.
not-
So, yeah.
Get a motion to pay highway?
I'll make that motion.
A second?
I'll second it. Gotta get in there.
Sewer in general? Get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
There you go, thanks.
No in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we have an executive session, you folks. Thank you for attendance tonight. Yep.
I asked the board, will there be anything after the executive session that needs to be decided at a public board level?
No, just adjournment. I went through the